Okay, we got the disturbing rise of junk food kids from Big Craig. Okay, what is going on with the junk food kids?
With Britain in the grips of an obesity epidemic, it's not just the adults who are overweight, with over a third of children in the UK being overweight or obese. Now, this
Oh
does
shit.
beg the question, who is at fault for these obese children? Well, this
Honestly, like you could easily make the argument that it's like, oh, it's the parents' fault, but then you look at the parents and it's like, can you really blame the parents because they're just doing what they were taught? So then what? Are you gonna blame the grandparents for like having shitty parents or like raising shitty kids and making parents and the parents having kids and like it's like a generational thing of like I don't know, like what, three, four, five, however many generations there are of like no one ever like intervening or intervening and like showing these people how to like eat like not in a caloric surplus or trying to take care of yourself or anything. But then again, you could also easily just like make the argument of like, well, these guys never really made the choice to like try to become healthy or whatever, and they just simply chose like the obese life. I mean, understandably, it's like there's probably like a small outlier where it's like genetic, but I think for like almost 99% of the people, it's like they just simply don't know what or how to eat or organize their lifestyle in a way that helps make them like more healthy. I would probably say.
this is what the TV show Junk Food Kids looked to answer, and it uncovered the ugly truth of denial, excuses, and a lot of fast food.
Shops are to blame, governments are to blame, people who make the candy and the sweets, they're to blame.
What? It's everyone else's fault but my own. It's wait. He said it's junk food to blame. It's the people that make candy. Yeah, but who's buying the candy for the kids? Are the kids just out spending their own money? When's the last time a kid had a surplus of money? I mean, I get it. Whenever parents try to say stuff like the main like combative argument I hear is that you don't know what it's like having to listen to a kid all day whine and complain to you about, oh, my friends have this, I want it, or something along the lines of that. Like, oh, my kid doesn't eat this, my kid doesn't eat that, my kid won't eat vegetables or whatever. He only eats like French fries and chicken fingers with ketchup or whatever, and they never really, sometimes never really even grow out of it. I get it. That's got to be like incredibly hard, especially if you're just like a maybe not necessarily like an obese like adult parent, but maybe like you're just like an average type of like I don't know parent or whatever, and some like you can tolerate like most vegetables, not every single, but like like you kind of know like what vegetables you should be eating. It's like, oh, I'm gonna try to eat this one or whatever. Like you kind of know, but then your kid is like, I don't want any vegetables at all. They taste bad, and like depending on like sometimes vegetables can taste good, like depending on how you cook them. If you can't cook them the right way, they're not going to taste good, especially for a kid that has like a super limited palate. I mean, I remember when I was a little kid, I absolutely despised vegetables with all of my fiber. I remember one time when I first learned or not first learned, but I first tried to eat broccoli. Um, I stuck like a cooked piece of broccoli in my mouth and I tried to chew it up. I mean, it was cooked all the way or whatever, it was fine, but like something about it just made me gag. And then I had to throw up. Like it was either my first or second time eating broccoli. And for a while, I was like, I don't like vegetables. But then eventually, like in my young teens, I want to say like maybe 11, 12, 13. I think I started to like I started to try vegetables again, and then it was like, okay, maybe I'll start with something easy like the potatoes, the carrots, maybe peas or something, and you know, maybe I gave broccoli another shot or something, and then it was like, oh, this doesn't taste like puke or throw up or whatever I thought I had in my head, and it didn't taste bad. I was like, oh, I can eat this again. And then like once I started like starting to work out more and start to like just read books and like watch the YouTubes, I started to realize, oh, I should probably eat more vegetables. And then my palate just over the course of time, it just expanded for the most part. Because like your palate doesn't stay the same, I would think, for most people. What you did or did not like as a young kid changes. But, you know, I understand for some people, they just never grow out of that chicken finger french fry phase.
Parents are to blame for overweight children, but they have to be helped.
Now, the first episode in the series is honestly pretty hard to watch, as we start in Leeds and meet Tallulah and her mother Natalie, and despite her looking older, Tallulah is just 4 years old.
She's about to start school, but it's hard to find a uniform that will fit.
Do you like that skirt?
I do want it, but I want now.
Yeah, 8 to 9 years.
Despite how young she is, she still needs to wear clothes which are for girls double her age, just because of the size and weight she is. And even then...
And, I mean, like, yeah, you can blame the mom, but, like, can you? Because look at the mom. Like, the mom's not, like, doing anything special either. So it's like this concept of there is something... there is nothing, and then there's the thing that you're not even aware of. Probably, and it's hard to describe a feeling to somebody. It's hard to describe, like, it's kind of hard to describe color to a blind person. It's hard to describe sound to someone that has always been, like, just deaf since birth. I would imagine it's something in a similar fashion for like being unhealthy and like slightly obese, having a higher BMI, whatever, versus like being like healthy, unhealthy, obese, and just regular size human.
It's still a bit tight for her.
I think even that might be a push to Lula.
Last couple of years, she's piled loads of weight on.
But I'll have to get a bigger size.
Adults that I know have said that she's fat. It absolutely heart-wrenched me.
One thing I noticed that she said was that she started piling.
Well, of course it's heart-wrenching because, I mean, as like a parent, it's like, this is all of my time and effort, energy, and love into this kid, and for other people to make a comment about it, I mean, it's like almost taking like a shot at you. Of like saying like, oh, your work and energy isn't good enough or something like that. So, 100%.
On the weight in the past 2 years, so since she was 2 years old, and Natalie tried to play that off as if it was a mystery as to where it was coming from, when it's clear that Natalie is just feeding her too much. It's also strange that Natalie laughs when she needs a bigger size, which tells us she's not exactly taking this weight gain seriously, and we soon find out some immediate health issues because of her poor diet.
Being overweight isn't Tallulah's only health problem. She's also suffering from severe tooth decay.
When Tallulah...
Oh no, the whole brushing teeth thing, bro. Like, I literally just went to the dentist like about a month-ish ago and finally got like a deep clean with like the scraping and all this shit and the drilling to like get all of the like the plaque around my gums like finally removed. Cause like I took like reasonable care of my teeth or whatever. I mean, I tried to brush like once, twice a day, maybe floss once a day or whatever, but like I was just maintaining it was like a slow downhill trend of like tooth health. And bro, ever since I got that shit done, I'm just like, I can brush it almost after every meal, dude. I'm like, I gotta keep this shit. Oh my God. It's, even though like whenever you go to the dentist, they'll like rattle off numbers to tell you how shitty you are about keeping your tooth health. And I think I got like 4s and 5s and like, some maybe like even some 6s or whatever, and I think 10's like worse, if not almost gone or whatever. So I'm like, all we can do now is help you maintain and what you have so they don't fly out of your head. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, and I'm like losing my marbles doing this shit. So I'm like, for that to happen like at this early age, it's like, where's like the tooth health? Where's the tooth like hygiene?
was born, she never had a dummy. She always had a bottle. So as she got older, it went from formula to cow's milk to juice. Now I know that's my fault, but it was easier for me on a night to give her a bottle of juice than to try and sit up with her all night and try and get her back to sleep.
A common
I get it, and that's the main argument. It's easier on me as a parent. And this is why, like, I don't know, I'm like pretty jaded about a lot of parents and their initial reasons on why they have kids, and not even like a parents thing. It's like a, and this is gonna sound bad. It's like a woman thing, where it's like, what is it called? There's something like instinct or whatever to like just want to have a kid or whatever. I forgot what the heck it was called, but it's like, do you know how hard it is to like raise just like one kid in like a healthy manner? It's like, I haven't done it, but I see other people do it, and I'm just like, that seems incredibly hard. Understandably, it seems way more easy when you got money, but if you're like middle class or even like lower class, like that shit's got to be like insanely hard. Even more so if like you don't know like health stuff, like you yourself wasn't like, or weren't like a healthy type of person, and you're just like more or less going through the motions of I want to have a kid and all that shit. It's like, ugh, whatever.
summed up this section perfectly, saying, I'm sorry, but a 4-year-old with tooth decay, that's disgusting. And I don't know if I'm being harsh, but I completely agree. Going from milk straight to juice, which is just loaded with sugar, and giving that to Tallulah at night is just ensuring that her fragile teeth are going to be destroyed. And Natalie's reasoning behind it is even more disgusting in my opinion. Literally saying to the camera that she couldn't be bothered to make a bottle for her baby, and so just gave her fruit juice. The worst part is that Natalie
and it's like, what are we supposed to do as like a society? Because what are we supposed to just like mandate if you can't keep like your kids, if you can't teach your kids correctly, are you supposed to be like allowed to like forced to not have a kid? Because it's like, no, that doesn't sound right. Well, like, because then we're just gonna have like, I don't know, I would imagine there's like a normal bell curve of like people, like outliers on both ends of like really great parents, really shitty parents, and then the bell in the middle is like kind of average parents. And it's like, well, nobody wants to be like on the shitty side outlier when like your 4-year-old has like decaying teeth. I mean, that sucks.
admits she noticed the tooth damage but carried on doing it anyway, and it's actually causing Tallulah a lot of pain.
They've just got worse.
That one hurts me, that one hurts me, that one hurts me. All of them hurt me at the bottom. And still hurt me at the top.
You'd think after Tallulah said that her entire mouth is in pain that Natalie would stop giving her sugar-loaded drinks, but it seems to be the opposite happening, as her
No, that's all she knows. If she knew how to do anything else, I think she would probably do it, but since she doesn't, she's just going to keep on going.
convenience is more important than her child's health, and Tallulah's not only got rotting teeth but is also piling on the pounds. The average 4-year-old needs 1,200 to 1,400 calories a day, and that 500ml bottle of Ribena she was drinking has around 200 calories and 50 grams of sugar, and it isn't
200 calories, 50 grams of sugar. That seems like crazy. What was that? Like
200 calories and 50ml bottle of Ribena.
Ribena? Black currant? Let me see this real quick. Nutrition facts. No way. What? Ribena juice. Okay. Ribena. Did I spell it right? Ribena. Ribena. 250 ml serving, diluted. Oh, of diluted Ribena blackcurrant juice contains 50 calories, 0 fat, 12 carbs, including 12. Well, how big is like the ounces? I don't know. I have to be like wrong. There's no way 50 grams of sugar. That seems like ridiculous. This says 12. So why is this video saying like 50 grams of sugar, 200 calories? That seems like off to me. But like, oh wait. So 200. So wait, 50 times 1, 2, 3, 4. So 200 actually. And then 12 times 4, it's like 48. I mean, shit. Okay, maybe it's right. It's probably right. Shit.
She was drinking has around 200 calories and 50 grams of sugar, and it
What is she? How much like liters is that? Is this like every day you're polishing off like a liter or a 2-liter bottle of this stuff?
isn't exactly going to keep her full. And Natalie once again shows her denial as she denies that Tallulah's diet is making her so heavy.
Sweets, chocolates, sugary drinks, it's those diets which are linked to decay.
This is the delusion of people. A delusion is like so unhealthy. I can't explain how unhealthy delusion is.
Okay, not good diets. It's the bad diet that causes dental decay.
Here. Rigor.
Is this a single mom too? With what? What was that? Like another kid? A second kid?
Put it there.
It's one of my favourite dinners.
I cannot see a problem with everything that I give her.
I can't see a problem with everything I give her, but aren't you but like you're the parent. You're supposed to essentially see over everything that goes into this kid's body, no? I mean, granted, if she gets like a hold of like some candy or something from like some other kids or whatever, you can't really control that. I mean, I get it, but as far as like a kid being a kid inside your vicinity for like 0 to like 18 years old for the most part, it's like, oh, I can give you like maybe like a breakfast, lunch, dinner if you're lucky. And then understandably, it's like the older you get, it's like your mom cooks less, and it's like, go get a job, and you're lucky if I cook once. But like, what?
I honestly do not believe she's put all this weight on just through what she eats.
Well, then how do you think she put all the weight on? Would her argument be like it's genetic? I'm like this, so she's like this. It's genetic. It couldn't possibly be like a caloric surplus, living in a caloric surplus every day, right? And it's not necessarily like the sugar. Sugar is not the enemy. It's the amount of calories that is like off balance. Like I think it would be fine for her to have maybe like a quarter of like that juice or whatever stuff if she was like more active, like go outside, like run around, do some kid shit. But also it comes with like the cultural norm of like boys are more likely to go outside and be active and physical than like little girls. Little girls like stay inside, play with like the girl toys and whatnot. Let all the boys go outside and get dirty in the dirt or whatever. Maybe it's something like that, but like it's like a caloric thing, man. Calories in, calories out.
Once again, taking the easy way out of any accountability, she tells the camera crew what she really thinks the true cause of her weight gain is.
Thyroid.
Thyroid. I have a thyroid like issue. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe go to the doctor if that's what you think it is. What is that, because you have like a thyroid issue? And also, like, what kind of example are you setting for like other people like that as you're setting up like an excuse chain of like, oh, it's not the food, it's not the amount of food I'm eating, I have a thyroid issue, and it's just like it's like, and then everybody else sees it, it's like, oh, that person said they have a thyroid issue, they look like me. That person said they have a thyroid issue, they look like me. So then that just makes everybody able to use that as an excuse. Maybe I have a thyroid issue. Does this mom even take her kids to the doctors?
Right, so it might be something to do with that.
But while
How about if you're so confident in that, go to the doctor and get like a little diagnosis thing? I mean, I don't know. You're just like guessing.
Natalie gives excuses and continues to overfeed Tallulah. Tallulah has been sent to the hospital as the pain in her mouth has become unbearable. However, before they even get there, Natalie showcases her awful attitude towards Tallulah's health, as she can't even be bothered to make sure she gets to the dentist on time.
Today, Natalie has to take Tallulah to see the hygienist. It's an appointment they have to attend before the hospital will see Tallulah. But it starts in 10 minutes. And it's 8 miles away.
Oh.
Tallulah! Tallulah!
You gonna show up late to the doctor's office? Good luck waiting another couple hours.
Oh. Brilliant. So it means I'm gonna be late. So... Oh, this is not working out well at all.
Instead of still going to the appointment, profusely apologizing for being late, and getting much needed help for Tallulah, Natalie decides to go home instead and watch TV. She even belittles the dentist's work by saying she doesn't need their help, and Tallulah wouldn't listen anyway.
Tallulah hasn't gone to today's appointment.
Like, how is that like the mindset towards like a doctor or a dentist? You're gonna like, I mean, I don't know like what she said exactly or whatever right here, but like, let me hear that again.
Instead and watch TV. She even belittles the dentist's work by saying she doesn't need their help, and Tallulah...
I mean, she wouldn't need the dentist's help if you just took care of the teeth like in the first place. No? What, are you a dentist, lady? Are you gonna do all this? It's like, it's not the dentist's job to like look at every person's mouth and make sure it's like tip top. All right. Much the same way as it's not my responsibility whenever I go into the gym, if I see someone messing up like a workout move and it's like looking all wonky and shit, it's not my responsibility to go over there and correct it. All right. You go to the dentist because you are looking for help, not to belittle them. If someone comes up to me in the gym and asks for like a little tip or a pointer or whatever, I'll be like, yeah, sure, you could do it like this. This is a really good way to do this move. Like, what is this like attitude? Again, it's the delusion.
I wouldn't listen anyway.
Tallulah hasn't gone to today's appointment, but Natalie wasn't convinced by it in the first place.
I like saying in how to brush your teeth. Obviously, she's still only 4 and, you know, it's quite difficult to get her to brush her teeth properly as it is. Never mind do it in circles and...
She's not wrong, though. Whenever I was a little kid, I had that little chart of, I think it was like a month long or something. Maybe it was like 2 or 3. I don't remember. And then every time I'd brush my teeth in the morning or night, there was like 2 columns in every day. And I had to put like a gold star every time I brushed my teeth. And I think I hung it up in like the back door in the bathroom or whatever. And like, I think after I did the chart was supposed, like the whole goal was to like build a habit of like just brush your teeth twice a day, which was fine. But like as a little kid, I think the second I missed like a day or like a session, I was like, oh, nothing bad happens. So it's like, oh, I'll kind of get to it. Oh, I missed a whole day. Oh, whatever. And then once I realized nothing bad happened, it's like missing sessions when you brush your teeth. It's like the issue doesn't become apparent immediately. It's like a chronic thing, a chronic habit that happens over a long period of time. And one of the sayings I say is, it's not a problem until it's a problem. Which is how a lot of life goes.
Brush these this way and that way. They're not interested in brushing the teeth, really.
But, I mean, hey, you had a kid, though. Is this not what you signed up for when you had a kid? Maybe you weren't prepared and you just don't want to admit it. I'll take that as well.
Why would you want to brush your teeth when you can sit downstairs and watch a bit of, Peppa Pig or do something else, It's like it's a chore for her.
It's hard to believe what you hear when Natalie talks. Tallulah's teeth are literally rotting out of her mouth, and she's saying that...
The fact that like kids can exist and grow up to being adults is like a miracle. It's crazy to actually think about it, that you had to have like a set of parents or maybe one parent that like show you how to go to the bathroom, how to go poop, how to go pee, how to like wash yourself, how to take care of your teeth, how to wash your hair, and all this other shit. How to eat correctly. You should do this. You should do that in life. It's like a miracle that someone can grow up to be like an old person. It's crazy, man.
Brushing her teeth is too difficult to enforce, so she just lets her watch Peppa Pig on a night. Now, it's not just me and you who are outraged by this, and YouTube commenters felt the exact same, saying the fact that she...
I'm not outraged because this is probably a scenario for many parents. It's just that this specific one is getting put on blast because she signed up to do the TV show. She signed up to make herself vulnerable to the public like this. All right. Now, that's probably not like every parent, but it's probably some degree of similarity for like other parents. Okay. Shouldn't just chastise this person just because they put themselves out there. Like, come on.
She blamed a thyroid problem and then couldn't be bothered to get her daughter to the dentist on time speaks volumes. And
that is also true.
Say Tallulah's story only gets worse from here as we see what Natalie buys her and her brother in a weekly shop. It turns out though the children can't even wait for that to finish as Natalie gives them food to eat during the shop.
For 29-year-old mum Natalie, one of the biggest tests of her
What? She is not 29. No.
Control.
No shot. Are you kidding me? Bro, I thought she was like 40 something.
Comes with a weekly shop.
I gotta get him something to eat quickly, just for while we're going round so they don't whinge and moan at me. Yeah, you getting one of those?
Soy sauce.
And soy sauce.
What's in that again?
Cheese and onion. I reckon it's got a bit of mayonnaise in it or something as well. You're getting apple juice to share. Right, let's go shopping.
As they walk around the shop, it seems like she makes a beeline to the crisps, or the chips if you're American, and get
the crisps. The crisps. I appreciate that little, yes, I appreciate that.
Gets the biggest possible bag she can, which she admits will only last her around 3 days.
It's gonna get some crisps now, because obviously they're convenient, snacky. See, that'll last me a few days.
What is this, Walkers? They literally just stole the Lay's brand logo. Or I don't know what one came first, Lay's or Walkers. This is probably like super convenient, but also this looks like a dog food bag, dude.
Well, maybe like most of this week, a 20-pack. But they're on offer at the moment, they're half price.
It honestly seems like Natalie has no shame about her laziness, as she constantly talks about how she puts her convenience and snacks over her kids' health. She even claims that she tries every day to make a home-cooked meal, but can't be bothered to cook for 2 hours. But really,
it is hard to make everything from scratch. It is. Unless you want to like meal prep and try to teach your kids how to transition from eating junk food to like regular food. I think it's a little bit easier if you just, and I'm just talking out of my ass. I've seen many examples of like friends or whatever, or like other people talk about how they literally just do not give their kids like any junk food, and they raise them in such a way that they stigmatize junk food so that it's like super bad for you. And it's almost like a positive manipulation of the child's reality, to make them believe that like junk food will kill you upon first eating. But like everyone knows that's not gonna happen. But like in order to build like a good habit in like a kid or something, it's like, hey, you should probably eat some like vegetables, maybe some starches, maybe some like meats and some fruits, and call it a day. And you just only eat that type of food versus like, I'm not gonna, I'm trying to cook the least amount I can and just give them whatever they want.
A healthy meal probably takes like 20 minutes on average. And if you struggle for healthy meal ideas like Natalie,
Yeah.
I highly recommend you sign up for the Fat Loss Kitchen, which is my newsletter where we share weekly healthy meals, all for completely free. I made this with my good friend Johnny to prove that healthy, low-calorie meals shouldn't break the bank or take hours to prepare. Some of the reviews have been amazing, and the response to the recipes has been great, which makes me feel like we're having a real impact. The link is in the description to sign up, and meals get sent out every Friday evening for completely free. Now,
Oh, that's pretty
Natalie's
cool.
shopping trip, and after Tallulah and her brother have moaned throughout the entire shop after their food ran out, they begged their mother for chocolate. And I honestly think this is something that a lot of parents probably go through, with kids begging them for chocolate. And I'm not a parent myself, so I can't really speak from experience.
I mean, I can speak from experience because I used to do that to my mom. I would just bug the shit out of her. I don't remember what candy, like I always, maybe it was like M&Ms or some shit, or like a chocolate bar, like a Hershey's. I mean, I was no saint as a little kid. I was a little hellraiser. I would probably sit there and like jump around like, Mom, can I get this? Mom, can I get this? Mom, can I get this? Get this, get this, get. I probably did that. I probably drove my mom crazy.
Experience. However, it does seem like after they whine for something, that's not the time to give them the treat, as it just reinforces the idea that if they whine, then they get a reward.
Oh my god. And then this thing where the candy is like just right there in hand's reach. I never have seen this like in any store that I went to. This is crazy.
Give them the treat, as it just reinforces the idea that if they whine, then they get a reward.
I like to just have an easy life. I think everybody likes an easy life.
Yes.
No, you're not. No.
Everybody does want an easy life. But I think easy life is like kind of relative. One person's definition of easy can be different than another person's definition of easy. And I think that's where the confusion comes in.
Oh, sorry. Come on. Sometimes I think to myself, no, I shouldn't give in. You're not having Kinder Eggs. But I do. Go and get a Kinder Egg each, quickly.
Unfortunately, Natalie's easy life is coming at the cost of Tallulah's health, who realistically doesn't really understand that this bad diet is having such a bad effect on her. But it gets revealed at the doctor's visit, which Natalie managed to attend this time. When the doctor, named Monty, asks Natalie about her eating habits and how often she brushes her teeth, Natalie just lies in his face, which Monty sees straight through.
Does she snack quite frequently?
She does snack. I won't say she eats, it's always sweet stuff that she's snacking on. Yeah. But she does like sweet stuff, but I have cut her down.
The funny thing is, right, if most parents and most children know the right answers to the questions you ask them.
Yes.
You say to them, does he eat sweets? Not often. He only has it with a meal. How many times does he brush his teeth a day? Do you think any parent's going to say to me, never? They say, twice.
No.
Every parent knows what the right answer is. So,
yeah, 100%. This guy's spitting.
of course, we have to be a detective.
But these lies are soon exposed when Monty takes a look at Tallulah's teeth, and it's a heartbreaking sight, as her mouth is just filled with abscesses and rotten teeth. Tallulah even admits that sometimes the pain gets so bad that it wakes her up at night, which honestly should be a wake-up call for Natalie herself. And although
You know what that means? That means like the nerves, like in the tooth and in the mouth and the gum, are just like deteriorating away, and like I don't think you can grow those nerves back.
Though Monty says he isn't allowed to blame the parents, it's safe to say the fault falls directly onto Natalie for this. Because Tallulah is so young, the effects of her obesity won't be of immediate concern, but just the fact that her daughter has rotten teeth, has an insatiable hunger, and wakes up in pain
Ugh.
during the night, or because Natalie, to be blunt, is too lazy to give her the proper care, it's a heartbreaking situation. Now eventually Tallulah is taken into surgery to deal with her rotten teeth, and the sight of her daughter being put to sleep seems to finally trigger something inside Natalie to take accountability for what she's done.
Sadness and guilt all mixed into one. She's my world. It's my choice what I've given her, and the foods and drinks that I've given her is up to me. So it's not her fault, is it? It's my fault.
I mean, at least she like takes responsibility. She kind of has to, like the camera's on her, so if she keeps up that delusional mindset, she's really digging herself in a hole.
I'm not gonna cry. I just drop.
This is a far cry to her attitude at the beginning of her episode, where she wanted to blame everything and anyone except herself. And this is like Denise's parents, who is older than Tallulah so can make her own decisions. However, she isn't exactly being supported by her family, and that has meant she weighs a staggering 224 pounds at the age of just 13 years old.
Bro, at 13? Bro, I'm trying to remember when I was 13. How much did I weigh? I was like 13. I was like, what, a buck 30-ish? Maybe a buck 40? Bro, I was like a small, skinny little kid at 13. Like, ugh.
I've spoken a bit about the physical effects of a poor diet, such as obesity and tooth decay, but having an older girl allows us to look at the mental impact of being overweight, and it's heartbreaking to hear at such a young age.
I think my weight affects the way I feel about myself.
It does.
Most girls like to look really, really, really nice because of the boys. People don't judge you by the way you are, by the way your character is. They judge you by the way you look.
My heart.
Initially, yeah, she's right. I mean, everybody does this. Whether or not they admit it is a whole nother thing. But most people do, in fact, judge a book by its cover on the first initial seeing of someone, because that's all you have to go on. Unless you like hear a person first before you put their eyes on them, or you smell a person first. Ugh, even worse. Before you put their eyes on them. Yeah, I mean, on initial, you only have one first impression on someone. All right, so what are we doing? This girl at like 13 is at least more mature than I was at 13.
Broke for Denisa. She actually wanted to try, but her parents wouldn't back her up, and this will be
That
proven
sucks.
very soon as they check her into a bariatric hospital for weight loss surgery, like the ones we see in My 600 Pound Life. Personally, I find it shocking that the parents, while being overweight themselves, are even considering this. They would rather take the easy way out through surgery than change up the entire family's eating habits. And that might sound harsh, but there are others who feel the same. It's just
Well, yeah, because people have no idea how much of an emotional connection they have with food. Even skinny people, even average people, even people that work out. Everybody has a very strong emotional connection to food. They do.
disgusting that Denise's parents would rather put their 13-year-old girl through life-risking surgery than just change her diet. Her obesity isn't because she moved countries or because she...
Yeah, because the surgery is like a reset button. Even though the doctors probably say that's not what it is, in the parents' head, they are probably thinking, like, they'll probably listen to the doctor or whatever, and the doctor will say, this isn't a reset button, but in the back of the parents' head, they will probably never say this. This is a instant reset button. We have to do right this time, all right? Versus, like, the diet thing.
She's spoiled. It's simply because her parents are terribly overweight and they are passing their bad habits onto their child. Simple as that. My heart is breaking for her. And the doctors agreed to.
I mean, that comment was like on point. The whole thing. It's like you look at the child's obese. You look at the parents obese. It's like, okay, where'd the child get all the habits from? The parents. Who would have thunk? Wow. Environment is a big factor when it comes to trying to figure out what kind of person, like the characteristics that person will have. Wow, what a big brain blast.
Insisting they actually try a real weight loss diet before going for surgery.
I think we all of us intuitively feel that it's a last resort.
In the first instance, I think.
And I can't tell you the amount of mental gymnastics that people in general just do in order to fool themselves and to trick themselves into not going to the gym and like doing not necessarily a diet, but like a kind of diet. Like you have to rethink your emotional attachments to food and whatnot, especially, but like with the gym, it's like the level of mental gymnastics people will do is just astounding.
I think we like to try and make sure that we've tried everything from a sort of diet and exercise point of view. Generally, our
No,
process...
they're not doing that. What? No, because one thing that I can argue is that, like, I don't know, there's probably like some celebrities and shit in like UK, right? Like every other country. In the United States, even amongst the celebrities, even they do mental gymnastics to not work out for the most part. Most celebrities don't really like working out. They simply just maintain like a very like low calorie diet or just way of life. It's not even a diet at that point. In order to maintain a perfect figure that does not require them to work out. All right. That's like, yeah, there's a couple people, couple women, couple men that like that are celebrities that work out because they like it, build up a good habit and shit like that. But like for the most part, even like front facing people do not like working out.
Is that you have to really try everything we can to help first before going ahead with something like an operation.
So Denisa and her family get put on a strict schedule so that Denisa can avoid having to have this incredibly drastic surgery, and so this 13-year-old girl doesn't have to go through that.
Oh,
However,
maybe.
in literally the 15 minutes after this appointment, her parents have taken her to McDonald's.
15 minutes
Oh boy, what a day, dude.
after leaving the hospital, Denise's parents take her for one last treat.
I think this clearly shows the parents' deluded mindset, as they call
The delusion. That is the number one sickness in the world. Delusion.
it one last treat, but clearly...
Is this dude spraying Pam on the food? I mean, but like understandably, it's like, I look at the living conditions and I'm just like, well, shit. I mean, they also probably don't got a lot of money. I mean, shit. What does he have? Like a construction job?
They go more often than not, and maybe it's more of a treat for them than Denisa herself. Poor education and weight gain has probably led up to this point, and the incredibly easy access to fast food, of course, has allowed Denisa's weight to skyrocket. Now, the family are also originally from Romania and found food to be much more accessible in the UK.
In our country, if she asked something, I said, sorry, I don't have money to buy it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But here, when we come, food and sweets and, you know, everything you see, you buy it because it's cheaper.
A meal can look cheaper than going to like the produce section of a store, buying like $100 or $200 worth of like food that you have to prepare. 100%, I get it. If you're trying to do the healthy thing, and like on that first trip to the store, you're gonna like go out and buy all the produce and like rice, whatever, like some potatoes and whatever else. That initial shock of like, you look at the price, it's like, oh fuck, what did I do? Oh my god. That is versus like just hitting up McDonald's for like a what is it, like somewhere between a $10 and $15 little combo meal. It is like you have to like divide all that chunk of produce up into like many different meals. And like once you do that, you'll quickly see that like a meal is like half, if not like a third of the price of like the little combo meal from McDonald's or whatever. But people, I don't like, they just don't think about food like that, because that's like planning out what you're going to eat, and that kind of takes the emotion out of it when you plan for something. I mean, like I said, people like are emotional. That's why they say things like, what do you feel like eating? I feel like McDonald's. I feel like barbecue. I feel like a hot dog. I feel like pizza. I don't feel like seafood. I don't feel like this or that. I feel.
She's coming. Oh, Daddy, can you buy this to me, please? Yeah, and again, I cannot resist.
But honestly, this is just one of the many excuses that the family employs to explain Denise's weight gain, and it's hard to watch. Some people have even suggested that this is child abuse, with one YouTube commenter saying that if a child reaches the level of obesity that they need stomach reduction surgery, then it's probably time for Child Protective Services to intervene. Throughout the episode, you can see Denise's lack of parental care, with her father even saying that he thinks it's pointless to diet.
Denise's father...
Why?
Virgil works as a builder. He's come to the conclusion that the surgery will be more effective than their attempts to diet.
Dieting, changing your eating style. It's about...
I mean, just cooking that chicken, it kind of seems like there's like a shitload of oil in there.
Power of willing, you know. And we demonstrate that we are not that strong.
I mean, bro, like... this dude is so, like, I would say he has a lot of, like, mental resolve, because he has a wife, he has a kid, he has a very physically demanding job. Just with those little bullet points right there, it takes a lot of will and resolve. All right? That's not like a lazy person. All right? There's, like, some sort of, like, mental, like, miswiring that is going on to, like, keep going in this type of situation. And I don't know who that like other kid was. Was that like a second kid? Sheesh, man.
She tried to lose weight when she was 11. She tried to lose weight when she was 12, but got fatter and fatter. But with the surgery, you don't have to give up of temptations.
Yes, you do. It's a reset button. What? You're going to reset everything back down to skinny, and then you're going to keep all the temptations, and then it's going to happen again? Like, what's the logic? You don't want to, like, maintain that, like, smaller, like, version of you? You don't think it could possibly happen again?
Yeah, you eat whatever you want, but only in a smaller amount, much more smaller amount.
Denise's episode ends on a pretty tragic note too, with the fact that Denise is now showing signs of diabetes, and her family are now pushing even harder for weight loss surgery. And
oh boy.
After watching both of these episodes and looking at the effects, the excuses and more, I do want to come back to the question in the beginning and look at who is to blame for these obese children. And at the end of the day, I think it's clearly the parents' fault that the children are in this situation.
Again, everyone can easily say the parents, but look at the parents. What did the parents do? Okay, what is it? The grandparents' fault? Is it the environment that they grew up in? It's so easy to say it's the parents, but what about the environment? Like, they never took any initiative to like learn or anything, or what kind of habits did the parents take up from their parents? It's just like an easy cop-out answer.
But there's a little bit more to it than that. A lot of the people featured on this show are from low-income households, which is just a whole other stress added to life. And I do understand cooking can feel like a massive task at the end of a stressful day. So to some degree,
yeah, it
is understandable they turn for fast food. However, the levels these parents have allowed their bad habits to go is frankly disgusting. And looking at how it's affected their children is genuinely heartbreaking. Now, if you want to see another no-nonsense UK weight loss show, to see my video about those who swear they don't...
You put like the little card over your face, dude. I'm fat but I eat vegetables. Secret eaters.
eat much.
I'll probably watch that one.
By hidden cameras. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and the Fat Loss Kitchen newsletter, and I'll see you in the next one.
Oh, get out of here, video.
With Britain in the grips of an obesity epidemic.
That was a good video. Honestly, I think this is a situation that is not just unique to UK, but like a lot of other like quote unquote first world countries too. I know in America, like the amount of obesity that's going on is like rampant. I don't know what's like. I legit don't know how to fix it. I mean, outside of like, because you can't really force businesses to like not sell like unhealthy food. It's like that doesn't seem right. You just have to teach people that it's I don't know how to say it. Besides, it's all about calories in, calories out. Like you can eat cakes and candies and donuts and shit. You just don't need to eat it at every meal every day. All right. Overall, cool video. I hope those guys get like a reality check whenever they go through their surgeries or whatever. But like, man. Yeah, that's it for me. I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, later.